Hello, I am Gamer Vince, and this is my playthrough of Warlock Master of the Arcane Armageddon mode. So in some of my previous videos I went over the game and sort of showed it around and played a very easy sandbox normal game where you just fight the great mages. But in one of the expansion packs they added this thing called Armageddon mode. And it is a very, very tough, very frustrating game mode where you work your way through to defeat the Dremers, which are like demons. And it is pretty tough. So I'm going to be trying to do this, and I do mean trying. It could take a couple of tries, but I'll try to walk you guys through the way that I figured out. I've beaten the Dremers 3 or 4 times out of the times I've tried. So we'll fight the Dremers. Alright, so first of all, I'm not actually sure. I guess you can also try to win via the Unity spell and capture the Holy Grounds. You could turn these on. You can't defeat the Great Mages because essentially you're on a team versus the Dremers. It doesn't ally you with the Great Mages. And in fact, the other Great Mages can totally go to war with you. They get in the way more than they help. So that's not an option, but the other ways of victory are still available, like casting the Unity spell and defeating the Avatar. Defeating the Dremers is always available as a victory type. And I feel like that's the real purpose of playing Armageddon mode. The Dremers are going to be harassing you the entire game through, and I feel like if you win any other way than going to their home world and punching their big king Dremer in the face, you know, you're not doing it right. You gotta get that revenge at the end. It makes it worth it. Alright, so world setup wise, you want to go with a small world. I've tried playing it on a medium-sized world, and it's a lot more difficult. The reason being is that you have to find these, the bigger the world, the more stuff is going on outside your area of influence, the more it's building up. And you'll just find, you know, large bastions of Dremers, and a lot of times stuff is just too far away. There's a point where you have to get these anchors, and they're going to be spread throughout the corners of the map. And the larger the map, the further you have to travel to get to them, and that just doesn't become feasible anymore after a while. So I like a small map. There is something said to be said though that if you play on larger maps, you might not get harassed as much because when the Dremers show up, they show up randomly in the world, and I'm assuming that more of them show up on larger maps. But I have noticed that when I play on smaller maps, you do get harassed a little bit more. So it's a give and take. If you're trying to win the game, which I feel like you kind of need, you should be. I feel like a smaller map is the way to go because it makes the end game easier. Medium and larger maps make, I guess, the early game maybe a little bit easier. You definitely want one enemy Great Mage. No more. It doesn't matter what map you want to play on. Just do one because they're not going to help you at all. They don't really understand. The AI doesn't understand how to handle Armageddon mode, and they just kind of start spiral. They're on a death spiral pretty much from the word go, because they don't build up fast enough. They don't have the units. They don't know how to defend themselves against the Dremers, and they end up just losing. Well, they'll stick around. They tend to survive, but they don't help you. In fact, they can get in the way. So because they can get in your way, and because they don't really help you fight the Dremers, I just won. Because I'd put 0 if I could. Same with additional worlds. I don't find additional worlds very helpful. I never really go in them. There's valuable resources in additional worlds, but it's so difficult to get them that by the time you can get them, you've pretty much already built up your army. And especially in the Dremer mode, you don't want to lollygag too much. So, yeah. You want to finish quickly. You don't want to mess around with additional worlds. So again, I'd put this to 0 if I could. Additional worlds are also a hazard. because creatures can come out of the additional worlds and they tend to be very powerful. So I usually try to, you know, in a small map you can only have one, no matter what. One is the number. Map type, you can go flat world or cylindrical. I think cylindrical is better because the world wraps around, which makes traveling around just a little bit easier. If you're in one corner of the map, you can just travel, you know, if you're on the right side of the map, you can just travel off the right side and you're on the left side. So it connects the world a little bit better, and at the end game you have to go to pretty much all the corners of the world, so connection is good. Cylindrical world is actually a benefit. Okay. Customization-wise, I went over this in greater detail in one of my previous videos. Gamerman, it's always the guy I go with. This is purely cosmetic. Pick the guy you want. But here's a couple of things for drummer mode that you may want to consider. So clean the land. The last time I played this, I regretted not getting this regretting this spell right off the bat. And the reason, I still won, so you can definitely do it without clean the land. It's just that usually during the game, you'll get it as if you don't start with it, you'll usually get it as an option to research for relatively cheap. So you'll get it, you know, usually early on, you'll get it cheap, so why bother getting it at the beginning? That's not always true, though. In the last game I played against the Dremmers, which I did, like I said, end up winning, but I never got clean the land. And that meant that the corruption that the Dremmers caused was just ruining my economy, and it was very tough. But so I highly recommend that you start with clean the land. You might, you know, get it during the gameplay anyway, but you might not. So I'm definitely going to start with clean the land. I always do trader. Money is the most important resource. It's just you're buying perks, buying units. Trader is just too important. With the last 4 perk points, I'm not exactly sure what I should go for. There could be a number of things. I could go with Conjurer and have more mana, but the last time I played, I was still sitting on so much mana by the end of the game, it didn't really matter. So Conjurer didn't actually help me all that much. Actually, I didn't get Conjurer. I got Glorious Tactician. I got Trader and Glorious Tactician, which gave me 1 point left, so I couldn't get Clean the Land. That's what happened to me. I think I might go with Farmer. Maybe Farmer and Treasury. Or maybe I should just go with Magnate. I think I might just go with Magnate. The plus 10 is actually not that great. It's good early on, but late game, and this is very much the Dremmers one. You're going to be doing most of your important stuff in the late game, so, and it's not really going to help me there. So, but that's fine. I am going to go with monsters again. I apologize to those people who are watching this thinking themselves like, oh, maybe I'll learn a new race. No, I'm going to play the monsters. I kind of need to. It's just that monsters I know the best. I'm most familiar with them, and the trolls are my favorite unit. The old trolls are the ones with the highest regeneration. They heal 20 hit points per round, which is huge. Old trolls. So usually what I do is get a bunch of upgraded old trolls and then go stomp into the Dremor homeworld. And that's how I win. And their old trolls are perfect for long sieges because because of their regeneration. You know, they take damage, but then they heal it right back. And if you need to take a breather, the breathers are very short because they'll, you know, they go take the rest action to heal 13 hit points, then they get their 20 hit points on top of that. You know, that's 33 hit points. That's that's a huge amount of health gained back in just one round. So, and also, I feel like the Arthi Elves have also really excellent units that I could do with this, but their resource regeneration is very poor. I like the Arthi Elves units. I don't like how they get resources. And when you're fighting the Dremmers, you need good units and good resource regeneration. So, monsters it is. Okay. I think we're all set. Let's get started. The game is going to start no differently from any other game of Warlock Master of the Arcane you've played. Armageddon mode does not start any differently. So we've got our map. The first thing we need to do is, so your early game is more important than ever. I feel like if you're playing against just your normal computer opponents, it doesn't really, you don't really, let's see. Oh. Just want to make sure that there's a little bit of sound, but not enough to overshadow overshadow me talking. In a normal game, you can kind of mess up your early game and still be fine. Not so much with the Dremmers. I actually kind of recommend that if you mess up your early game, just restart. It's not worth the trouble, and the Dremmer mode is very difficult. So do not recommend if the early game goes poorly, and you'll see me do that. If I feel like, well, actually, currently things are going very well, because there is some very valuable resources around here. We've got some gold, which is excellent. To get started with, in terms of money. They're very good. We've got iron, more iron. I only really need one iron, but there's Nevril over here, which is a very, very expensive resource. The perks cost, I think, 175 per upgrade, but it is also excellent defense against missile, which is one of the more powerful Dremmer units. So it's not a bad thing. All right, let's get our Ratman guild. Select a spell to research. I'm gonna go with Shadow Bolt, because the Shadow Bolt does more damage than the regular Fireball. The lesser Shadow Bolt does more damage than the lesser Fireball, but there's way more things immune to magic, to Shadow Death Magic is what it's called, than there is to Elemental Magic. Okay, we're just going to end turn. We did a little bit of research. We're building some Goblin Archers. It's all good. Excuse me. Alright, let's see. Veterans. That's a problem. We're just going to retreat. I don't particularly want to use those units yet. Those roaches, I'm just going to ignore. All right. So let's see what we're looking at over here. It looks like there is a lot of. Oh, I forgot to mention. You may have noticed that when I was selecting the terrain, I left it on Great Land. Great Land is my favorite type of terrain to move in because I hate water. Fighting the Dremmers, that might actually be a disadvantage because they can come in from everywhere. Dremmers never show up in the water. So there could be relative safety in being surrounded by water. But you won't get that in this mode. All right. So yeah, we're gonna be taking this city very early on. I'm going to build an archer here. I'm going to get these, I think these two archers, the one I'm building plus this one, might be able to just take this city. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. Oh, the Ratman came out to play with my Ratman, and they destroyed my Ratman. That's really unfortunate, and I did not see that coming. I thought that would be an even fight. Alright. That's okay. The Ratman weren't going to get much further, but I'm a little bit miffed about that. We need a settler pretty much right away, right off the bat. I'm going to go send it and try to get this gold mine to really get a lot of money going quickly. Gold mine, I think, provides 12 gold, which that's excellent. So, and turn there. We don't see anything anymore. Yeah, hunters. They can't really, at the beginning, don't really worry about your capital. The only time to ever worry is if you're playing the undead and elementals show up. Elementals are your undead capitals, deal death damage, and Elementals are immune to death damage, so something to watch out for. A couple of things I'm looking for here. One thing I'd like, ideally, is fertile lands. Fertile lands, you cast down one hex, and then that hex and all the surrounding hexes turn from whatever they are to fertile lands. I don't really care so much about the fertile lands. What I care about is that it can heal lava plains. And you'll see this relatively soon. There's going to be a volcano showing up here, and it's just going to explode and destroy a bunch of hexes, and it's going to be awful. And that just happens in the Armageddon mode, and it's something you got to be prepared to deal with. And the way I like to deal with it is with fertile lands. So yeah, these guys are going to be able to take that no problem. Got to get my tax offices next, because tax offices leads to Trollbridge. Yep, and we're going to end turn there. Yeah, they're going to fire back. These guys think they have a chance against my capital, which they don't, as just demonstrated. Alright, we're going to send this guy off by himself here, which is a little bit dangerous. There are roaches here, which I'm not sure exactly where they're at. I mean, I can see them here, but I'm not sure if they're actually there. If that seems to be more of a glitch. I'm not sure, because I shouldn't actually see them there. But I'm going to do my best to just keep this thing alive. It just needs to get right here. I want it right next to... I might try to get it here, depending. I think I'm going to have it move here and then try to create the city here. Because this city has a... I don't think it really matters. I think I am going to put it right here. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it right here. I need to make more... I should make another settler, but I'm not sure if we have another spot, if we'll have another spot available. I think I am going to make Ratman robbers to replace the ones I've lost, because we need to scout. Ooh, there's more gold here. That's good. Good to have gold. You may have noticed that I moved my archers next to the city, and that's on purpose. Cities heal every round unless an enemy unit is in an adjacent hex. That's a handy bit of information. That's what so these archers, if they were a square, if both of them were a hex away, the city would be healing constantly, and it'd be a lot more difficult to take. So I'm gonna move this thing forward only one. I could move it forward now again. So a little strategy tip here. So this thing has 2 movement points, which means that I could move it again into the spot that I want to found the city. But then it'll be out of movement points, and if the roaches are here or something like that, and they could rush in and kill my gnome settlers or hurt it. I don't think they could kill it. That's part of the reason why I'm not too worried. But you know, they could hurt my gnome settler, and life could be difficult. So I'm just going to leave my gnome settler here, and next round it has 2 movement points, so it moves here and then immediately founds the city. So I don't need to risk that. And if I'd seen something awful, if there was the roaches had gotten here, I could always move him back. He didn't see anything awful here, so I can move him safely into here because he can always move back with his next move. So, strategy tip. Alright, let's see if we can't take Prayton. And our archers are gaining some levels. The ones I always go for first is marksman, because dealing more damage is a good thing. Looks like we'll take the next turn. Good. We're going to found the city right here. I'm going to destroy the farm, which, When I had that farm, is my food negative? I'm not sure. But we're building the gold farm first. That's just what I'm going to do. These ratmen are going to go down here. That's interesting. Goblin spearmen on a ratman hole. Right, we're going to keep going over here. The nice thing about ratmen, what makes them such excellent scouts, is that they have sight vision 3 instead of 2, like pretty much everything else. Alright, so we need to find a spot for another city. ideally you'll want to get cities very quickly, as quickly as possible. So that's why I'm trying to rush it here. It's difficult for me to plop a city in here because there's an ogre den right here. I can't put a city here because I have a city here now. So I could put a city here next to the, actually next to the demon, to get the Infernal Rift. This thing's really good for getting research, which is difficult for the monsters to get. So here's actually not a bad spot, but that is within distance of the ogre den. Now, a city with archers can defeat an ogre. So that's maybe, I think that's just what I'll go for. I'll go send it over here, and that'll give me access to the Halberd Hall, which gives you decent, you can get a decent perk out of that. I'd actually prefer the Minotaur Caves, but it looks like I've got some down here. When this city expands, I'll have access to this Minotaur Cave, and that's no problem. So I think that's what I'm going to try to go for. And we're building a settler, so yep, life is good. Alright. Bunch of turns. Let's see. I'm going to have you guys... I think I'm just going to take it with my Ratman. Yeah, because I want these guys to heal. So, I took it with the Ratman. These guys couldn't heal until I took the city, because they're next to it. You know, that also applies to units. You, I'm going to send down here. Clear out some of these roaches. So notice how I got a message saying terrible cataclysms have beset Ardania. He'll give you like a message. So essentially what's happening here is that you can read this yourselves if you'd like, but essentially what's happening here is these comets are coming down and they're making land into sort of infertile wasteland. It's really not that bad. It just affects your food supply. So it won't affect your gold or your mana. So that's fine. What will affect your gold and mana is volcanoes, which will start popping up, and volcanoes are really bad. A volcano will pop up in a hex randomly, and it will destroy any building it finds in that hex. And on top of that, a lot of the surrounding hexes, it's kind of random exactly how it spreads. It's not going to be a perfect circle. But a lot of those hexes are going to become lava fields, and lava fields are very bad. But that's why I have cleaned the land available, where I think that works on restoring lava hexes, and it works on contaminated lands. So I won't let that ruin my economy. Alright. It looks like we're still building stuff, so yep, we're all good. The spearmen attacked the roaches. Alright, that's fine. And we're going to attack the spearmen with my archers. So that's fine. You are going to go exploring a little bit. Let's see what we have here. These are very dangerous. If you ever see predator spiders, those are very dangerous. They deal a lot of damage. A lot of death magic too, so if you're the undead, I guess you don't have to worry as much about it. But they also have this really annoying ability, Web, where it'll stun a unit for, I think, like 2 or 3 turns. Which, that's awful. So, those things are very dangerous. Avoid them at the beginning, and then crush them later on. Oh, gems. Excellent. So there's another good reason why a small map is better than a medium map, is that you tend to find... So all maps have gems in them, and you'll probably find Nevril. So maps have sort of a common distribution of resources. You'll find like gems and Nevril and adamantium on pretty much all maps. And in smaller maps, you're just more likely to find them quickly, and that's really good. That's really key. I am going to build some more archers. Archers are pretty good at defending your cities, and you're going to need to do that. They're good support units. Later on, I'm going to build trolls, but the archers are really good at softening up units before my trolls attack them, and that's going to be also critical. Alright, it's running away, which is fine. You need to go with... We're running a very dangerous operation over here, where I'm going to try to sneak this thing into this spot right here, which I think is a legitimate spot that I can pick to build a city. I believe so. Things will be a little bit difficult if it isn't. So you notice that I'm putting my Ratman here in danger. It's within sight of a lot of dangerous creatures, which that's fine because I still have enough movement to get out. Ratman, I believe, forest defense bonus and yeah, passability dense. That's what I was looking for. They can get, so don't do this with other units. Like for instance, if I went here, normal units would only be able to get back to here, which actually that's a fine spot, but because I'm right now within distance of the ogre, I'm just going to move back here. By the way, this is dangerous to do no matter what. In theory, they can't see me now. They only have sight range 2, so in theory he can't see me. Sometimes they wander, and then they'll see your unit and go right for it, and that can be kind of bad. Don't want Ghost Wolves. No, I'm going to research Lesser Fireball. Most of these spells right here I'm not too keen on. Whenever you get the options of a bunch of spells you don't actually want, just get the cheapest one. And hope something else comes up next time. Build a farm. Sure, I'll accept that quest, though I don't think I'm going to fulfill it. Yes, I kind of want those dead. Let's get a little bit of roaches. More roaches, that's fine. So we'll kill them. And these roaches are probably going to attack me, but that's fine. We'll deal more damage to them than they'll deal to us, so we're okay with this. Prayton is going to become a food city. Gorgonwood is going to become a gold city. And the first thing I'm going to do here is build a demonologist workshop, which is going to cut into all of my stuff. It's -3 gold, -3 mana, -3 food, which is terrible, but it's plus 12 excavation, which is huge. We're still building archers, right? Yeah, we are. Alright. So, I'm going to, yeah, so this is perfect. I'm going to move these guys right here, and next turn they're going to move into this hex and immediately build the city, and these guys are going to be ready to help defend the city from this ogre, and hopefully they'll be able to kill it. Worst case scenario, I'll throw a couple of shadow bolts at it to help them out. Oh, excellent. We can get a troll bridge. Alright, so nothing bad has happened yet. Normally at this point when I'm building my troll bridge is sort of the point of where the Dremmers begin to show up. In fact, I'm kind of nervous that this is going too well. Usually whenever I fight the Dremmers and I think to myself, I'm like, oh, this is going really well. Something comes up that just completely trashes me. Alright, let's see if we can't get past these guys. We've got 3 movement left. Alright, there's bears there. That's kind of bad. I don't think I can escape now. I think my Ratman might be dead. Because here, that's not safe from the ogre. Here's not safe from the bears. They should actually survive a bear attack. So that's what I'm going to do. And there's more Nevril here. That's kind of surprising. So these bears are probably going to attack my Ratman. Probably. Sometimes units prefer to stay in their lair. These bears are going to attack, which is going to push the Ratman here. So, I don't know. The Ratman will figure it out. They might be dead, but at this point, I've actually gotten, you know, a decent amount of additional information from them, so it's all good. See, notice that these roaches didn't actually attack them. We're going to go loot that Ratman hole. Going to explore. So we found the edge of the map. That's all fine and dandy. Go do that. You, I want in Prayton right now. I need to be thinking about building another city, and I think we're going to... there's an ogre den here. I can already see it. But there is donkeys here, which is a good resource. It's almost as good as gold. And it's all on frozen plains, which is good for money. So we could build a good money city down there. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, notice that I'm trying to expand like crazy here. the more you gotta get a couple of good cities going quickly when you're fighting Dremers. It's just necessary. All right, we're gonna end turn. Yep, bears like clockwork. Oh, they got a critical hit, which that's bad. But it pushed them into the ogre, and now the ogre finishes off the ratmen. I did not expect the ogre to move after the bears. So that's unfortunate, but we'll make do. Oh yeah, we can't actually. If we stay here, those guys will just get slaughtered by that ogre. So let's not do that. Resistance to melee damage could be useful. Neither one of these is particularly useful right now. The elemental and magic and death magic and the melee. So I'll just do experience. It's a pretty safe bet. Alright, you're moving there. Actually, yeah, so we're going to build a city here. So, oh, I completed the quest for building a farm. I'm immediately going to destroy that farm. And I'm going to build a demonologist workshop. Because spells are important to have. So, by the way, the Neville Smelter, as nice as it is, I'm not going to build it for quite a while. Because the perks themselves are very, very expensive. And it drains a large amount of money, as you can see. Don't build a Neville Smelter early on, because you're not going to be able to use it. Demonologist Workshop, though, we're going to be able to research a lot of spells with that. You guys are going to help fight that. That ogre is going to return to his den. And then, you know, stuff's going to be happening. Actually, you can go help them fight that ogre. Down here, yeah, I think I'm going to build the city right here to get immediate access to the donkeys and get, when the city expands, there'll be access to a lot of nice icy plains and frozen stuff. So that's all good. Yep, nothing really happened on the off turn. Harvest Blessing is a good one. So notice that this takes 10 turns to research. As soon as that Demonologist Workshop is done, this is going to be a heck of a lot quicker. We're going to keep fighting them. Alright, so those are dead. Oh, we've got another movement left. So a weird thing is that you have more movement inside your borders, and I'm not exactly sure how much more movement. And if you ever end up with a fractional movement, you just get to use it. I think. I'm not 100% sure on those rules. They're a little bit, they aren't straightforward, which is unfortunate. But the game does tell you how far a unit can move in a given turn, so that's fine. Yeah, we're just going to build that market here, no particular reason. Alright, the ogre hasn't returned, so I'm just going to go steal his ogre den, get a free firestorm out of it and some money. Maybe he won't return at all now. I would be okay with that. As soon as my troll is done, he's going to go march over here and try to take... Oh, this has been conquered by monsters. That's funny. If you see a brown border like this, that means monsters have conquered it. That's good news and bad news. It could be good news because they could all be weak, but it could be bad news if the monsters are really, really strong, and it turns out that some really strong monster stomped in there, and it's just going to sit there and occupy that. But I'm going to build a troll as soon as I can. We've got another turn. I'm not going to build anything this turn because I'm just going to wait for the troll bridge to be done and build a troll next turn. And that troll, along with an archer, should be able to take this city over here. Yeah. Best laid plans, by the way. Like, if it seems like I'm very, like, this is, you know, I've got all the answers and this is all very well planned out, yeah, don't let that fool you. That's unfortunate. These wild ratmen spawned in this garbage dump. Because I want to found a city here, which is in... I don't think those ratmen can kill. Even if these ratmen, even at full health, they couldn't kill this. And now they're at less than half health, so this thing should be fine. Should be fine. Best laid plans. We're going to build a pub. Pub is a unique monster building that produces 5 food at the cost of 1 money. We need the food more than we need the money. Alright, you can continue. You just be a sentry at this place, because that ogre might come back. I feel like it should. I'm going to build some trolls. Ready to shoot something. Let's see, you're going to just scout. Yep. Go, well, critical hit in those roaches. Wasn't 100% necessary, but, you know, always happy to have critical hits. Alright, that's that for that turn. Trolls, by the way, take 4 rounds to build. I think most mid-game units take that long to build. So, yeah, the Ratmen have decided not to attack. They haven't decided to rest either. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. We're just going to build the city here. We're immediately going to destroy the farm because we don't need it. We're going to build a trading post for the money. Oh, and since we just found a city, we can shoot them with some arrows and finish them off. And then next turn, I'm going to rush in there into the garbage dump, loot it, and then rush into the city. Because there's an ogre den right there. Let's see, some hunters have shown up. They're not really much. Hunters by themselves are not that big of a threat, but we might as well address it quickly. I like building cities that are relatively dense. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a problem that... So this city... Yeah, this city's going to expand first, meaning it's going to take all of this territory, which means this city and this city's losing out on all of on the territory that they could have had. But that said, that's not really that big a deal because this city's going to expand and it's going to give you lots of territories to build around here. So that's fine. It only becomes a problem if I say we're to found a city here and that would expand before this one. Getting reduced down to just these many, you want about, for long-term planning, you want about 10 hexes to build in. Minimum. 10 hexes, you will be okay into the late game. Alright, you're gonna go... I saw some bears over there. Let's see what that is about. Alright, we don't see anything yet. So I'm just gonna have them stay there and hope that they're okay. Alright. Turn. Yeah, they shoot. That's fine. You notice that I skip a lot of this because you don't really gain a whole lot of valuable information from watching the animations. I just usually click, have it go through there, and then it's like, ah, yep, that's what happened. It's telling me to build a harbor. We get some nice things from it. Alright, we run in there, loot, and run back out. Ooh, did I get a spell? Yeah, I got Lesser Weakness. Very nice. Lesser Weakness is actually very useful. It reduces the... In fact, that's a really good spell to have once the Dremors show up, because the Dremors are stupidly strong at the beginning. Man-eating spiders. That's okay. We can fight man-eating spiders. I'm going to go on top of these hills here. Kind of glad I did, because there are bears here, and we don't want to fight bears. We'll wait. We'll wait to do that once our trolls are ready. My Demonologist workshop is done, so things should, research-wise, things should pick up. The big problem with having a Demonologist workshop this early on is the mana. So I'm going to have to build some mana traps as soon as I can. See, I also need to think about expanding, I think, in this direction. My first troll is going to go try conquering this city. And if I'm lucky, this will actually be... No, it's not an undead city. I think I can see... I don't think I'm supposed to know that, but when I hover over here, you see in the bottom left-hand corner it says castle. I think undead cities have some kind of death magic. No, they don't. It could be an undead city. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. How much longer until my troll? 2 more rounds. Okay. Let's keep going. Uneventful turn. Oh, the bears have decided to show up here. We'll send them a nasty surprise. Meanwhile, yeah, go help fight those bears. You can use the experience. What I could do is I could try to harass this ogre into attacking us. This ogre's, I mean, it does 20 damage. That could kill my archers in 1 hit. What's melee resistance for these guys? They have melee resistance of 30% damage reduction, which means that it probably shouldn't be enough to kill them in one hit, but I'm not going to risk it right now. Instead, I'm going to have you guys see what's over here. The last movement point is always the risky one. If I step here and there's something nasty just outside of view, it might kill them. But I'm going to risk it. Yeah, there's nothing there. So that was okay. What do I want you guys to do? So I know that there's all kinds of nasty stuff just right here that I'm going to need a troll to clear out. Actually, that said, there's a rogues guild here, and we're going to go harass them. Because rogues are not that tough. They're like ratmen. I think they're like stronger ratmen. Yeah, they are like, I think they're like a little bit stronger ratmen. But they still have sight range too. Yeah, we're going to give them resistance melee, because these guys are melee fighters, and I think they're about to come in and try to punch them in the face. Yeah, I'm not going to spend any mana right now, because my mana is very, very precious until I can get a couple of mana traps going. Yeah, that bear thinks he has a chance, so he just took 14 damage. He died attacking my city, so that was not helpful to him. We're going to move over here. Go attack the spiders. Now that we've got a troll here, they'll be able to save them in case they get into trouble. Alright, good. I can make shamans. Why can I make shamans? Oh, Lord is offering your... I saw that and I was like, wait, I can make shamans? I haven't built a shaman guild. So, let's see. 514. Why do I have 10 mana? Oh, it's because I'm not using my research points, so I'm currently getting a lot from... You get half. It's a kind of a crappy return, but, you know, if you really need mana, hey, don't research anything for a little bit. He costs... So I'm not going to get him yet, but it's good to have... It's good to have him available. I am going to make a mana trap here because we need the mana. The monsters are very bad at making mana. One more. Ah, looks like there's a city there. So unfortunately, because I could build a city here, but to get at the silver and maybe the iron. I mean, the iron I don't need. I have access to iron. But there just aren't enough spaces. Now, I forget if Raise the Land creates new hexes. I kind of want to try this out and just cast Raise Land. I forget if it makes new hexes. I'll find out. I'll find out before the end of this. But first, let's pick what else we're researching. You always want to be researching spells. There are very powerful spells towards the end that you can get, like Experienced Mind. Melee Resistance is not a bad one. And notice how quickly we're researching these spells now. Notice that, yeah, this spell literally 2 turns, but you know the first turn we're getting the vast majority of it done. It's that Demonologist workshop is just amazing for researching spells, especially early on. So we're gonna we're gonna try to rush to get some very good spells. I'm looking for fertile lands. That's one thing I'm definitely looking for. So, yeah, we'll keep going. Now, you've noticed that this game has still not been any different than from a normal game. The only difference is that I'm expecting something to happen. Bears took it. Bears are not the toughest, but yeah, they should not be. These guys should not be able to handle my troll. So we're going to build a granary because we are running low on food. I really need to be building another troll. That was my mistake. I wasted a turn here that could have been spent building a troll. Have a look here. Ah, undead. So this is an undead city, which that's good. Undead cities are very good at making mana, which is something I'm very bad at. Oh, and this turn I'm actually going to get a little bit of extra mana because you notice that. See, this yellow bit is what... The blue bit is what we researched last turn with 17. The yellow bit is what we're researching this turn. So because there's leftover research points... Yeah, I only needed 3 more. It took 20 research points to research melee resistance. So the extra 14 that I'm not using for research this turn are getting converted into mana. Yeah, we're just going to finish them off. Very good. Very, very good. And I think we're going to call that. Let's see. Now I am making a little bit of mana, and I'm a little bit afraid of what these bears and stuff can do. So I'm actually going to do a Lesser Shadow Bolt here. Yeah. Ah, it's critical hit. It's very fortunate. It weakens the bears a little bit, and it weakens the city a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it might be enough to just make a point of difference. Alright, so a bunch of... Oh, that explains a lot. That explains a heck of a lot. We cannot take this city right now. That's really unfortunate. So that's going to slow me down a little bit. I'm a little bit miffed about that, but I kind of knew that it could have been something like that. So there's a greater fire elemental sitting on it, so it's nothing we can do about that right now. That city is just going to be off limits for a little bit. We're just going to get the heck out of here. So new plan is that this city's occupied. I bet there's a holy... Greater fire elementals only show up where there's holy places, which, to be perfectly honest, I'm not really interested in. I find my old trolls better than any any temple unit, so I don't really care about them, and I don't think it's really worth fighting over it. Ravenwood. I can't tell what race the city is because they've been eliminated, so they don't have any units. Yeah, I think I'm going to research Eagle Eye. Far-seeing. Increasing sight distance is very useful. Alright, so now that I've finished my troll bridge, I'm actually going to build a mana trap. Not for the mana, but because that's what's needed for a Shaman's Guild. And that's what I need. I need a Shaman's Guild. Then I need a University. We're in a spot of trouble here, is that we're running out of space in our capital city. We've got lava hills that we can build on. So we've got this. We've got 4 spaces left, which will be... mana trap we're building now, then a Shaman's Guild, then I believe a University Military Academy. I think there's something in between there, so we should hopefully have enough space to do all of that with. Yeah, we kind of need you back here. After that troll is done, I'm going to build a settler because we need more cities. We're currently sitting at 5 cities, which is a respectable number, but it's not enough. Not enough to fight Dremers with. Dremers, which I'm very surprised haven't shown up yet. You know what? This is a good time to cast Raise Land. I'm going to try to raise land here. Let's see what that does. Oh, excellent. Well, that solved that problem. To be perfectly honest, that's kind of what I thought it does, but I haven't done it in such a long time that I forget. So I've just created another hex, so I don't have to build in the lava fields. Which also means I think I'm going to build a city here and then just raise a bunch of hexes out of the water. I think that's not a bad idea. In fact, we could raise all of these hexes and make it very easy to traverse here. I don't have the mana to really do that right now. And we're actually kind of short on food. Oh, what I really should be doing is casting Harvest Blessing. Speaking of which, where is Harvest Blessing? Did I cancel Harvest Blessing? I know I got it. Right? Am I just going crazy? Did I not get Harvest Blessing? Huh. I'm a little confused because I could have sworn I researched Harvest Blessing to increase the food production. But apparently I didn't. Maybe I canceled it, but I feel like then it should still be available for me to research later. Not sure what I did there. It should be right before melee resistance, right? Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I have no choice but to let it go. Sometimes weird things happen. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, go away. Leave my troll alone. If that troll dies, I'm in a lot of trouble. Just run. So, yeah, these guys, these greater fire elementals can cause a lot of damage. And that is one thing I'm not overly fond of in the game. I'm not going to lie. That the greater fire elementals, yeah, they should really leave me alone. They don't normally wander this far away from the holy site that they're guarding. So, and let's see, that they destroyed my my archery units over here. So I've suddenly got a little bit of a dearth of units here. But that's okay. These guys I'm going to send over here to clean out these wolves' dens, or maybe I'll just have the trolls do that. All right. Ran into a little bit of a hiccup here, but that's okay. We should be doing just fine. Yeah. You want to clear dens, by the way. More monsters are going to spawn if you just leave them. So wolf dens, it's not a problem. The real problems show up later when you've got like demon dens and elemental dens and all kinds of awful things spawning. Which, yeah, we're not really prepared to deal with that yet. I'd really like to build some more units. Let's see. I can build Ratmen. And I do kind of need to do some exploring, but ideally I'd like to get some more archers. But I think I'm just going to let it go. I'm building trolls. I'm just going to be popping out trolls as quickly as I can. Now that we finished those trolls, we're building more trolls. More trolls, or do I build a settler? Build a settler? No, I think I'm gonna build a settler. We need another city. So no settlers, that's happening. Fire. Do that. Loot it. That's all good. Yeah, I'm really surprised that ogre, we never saw him again. We were so prepared for it. Yeah, so I want to get these gems at some point. Gems are an excellent resource for gold, but they also give a very, very valuable perk. Late game perk. So I need that late game perk if I'm going to fight the Dremers. So I'm not going to. That's why I'm not getting it immediately. If I was getting it for the money, I'd get it immediately. But I'm not getting it for the money. So, yep. Looks like all of these guys are done. Yeah, recruiting's complete. Yeah, we're all done here. I might build a land bridge. Nah. We'll make a settler, and we'll make him go over here. I think this area is relatively safe because of the city here. There's not a whole lot of wandering monsters here. We were able to see it. So I'm going to build a settler and just send them right here. Maybe right here from feeling... No, I think I'm going to send him right here. And I'm going to build a city here. And yeah, we'll have an extra city there. Turn. Got some Ratman robbers. We're going to build some tax office, which we're not going to build another troll. Another troll bridge. I am going to build an alchemy laboratory because the extra mana will be very useful. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We have a new quest to build a harbor. Wait, isn't that what I just finished? Yeah, I just finished. Wait, did I just get that quest? No, they want me to build another harbor? Why would I build another harbor? I don't know. They're just going crazy. Alright, we're going to just send you straight over here. No, we don't particularly want you to be attacked by all that. Some of it, sure. All of it, no, let's not do that. Alright, let's go take care of this ogre. You're a threat. We do need to leave some units back here in case of attack. The Dremers are going to show up. It will happen. I picked Dremer game mode, right? Yeah. We had a Cataclysm message. So yes, it's definitely Dremer mode. I'm going to run my trolls into them, which... Oh no, they took 10 damage. Well, next turn they're going to heal 8. So that should be okay. I can build a carafe in a tiny, tiny lake. I don't know why it would do such a thing. So between the bears and the ogre, I think we're okay, and I'm going to save my mana whenever possible. I was contemplating maybe casting a spell here, but I think I'm just going to let it go. The bear's retreating anywhere. Oh, so is the, and the ogre, oh, the ogre marched around this way. Not sure what he's trying to gain from there. Make barren land, that's not a bad spell. I am going to get Summon Ghost Wolves, though. Summon Ghost Wolves is pretty good. Yep, we're going to fire at them. Move them forward. Shoot. Wait, did that ogre kill one of my archers? Didn't I have 2 archers here? No, I sent those archers over here. My apologies. I get confused. Alright, so we're going to send this settler over here. So we're going to try to carve out an area over here with my trolls. And I'm going to build another gnome settler to go down here. We're kind of overdue. We're in turn 25. We're kind of overdue for bad things to happen due to Dremor attacks. Yep, we're definitely going to build a mill. Unfortunately, we are here in... These are just barren plains, that's fine. But we've got some sandy desert over here, which is not going to be particularly good for food harvesting. Yeah, so actually I'm gonna I know these 2 long videos, you know, so I'm gonna split up these videos as I go along. So as we stand now, I'm just gonna give you a quick recap of where we stand now. We've got 5 cities. In turn 25, 5 cities in turn 25. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I really wish I'd gotten this city, but it's defended by a greater fire elemental, and we found another greater fire elemental down here. So those areas are currently off limits. My trolls could fight them, but with great difficulty. So we're just going to let it go. And I'm going to pick up here next time in my next video to show you how Armageddon mode goes. Nothing Armageddon-ish has happened yet, but it will. Trust me. Alright, so see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.